Ah, yes, you! Welcome back. What is happening, friends? Welcome back to Football Therapy with me, your host. Yeah, and I hope you are doing well, dear sweet friend. I really do hope that. Welcome back, of course, to Chelsea News, the daily series where I see what's being said in headlines. I read it to you, react in front of you, and then ask for your opinion. Today I'm pulling out two stories. Jose Mourinho looking to maybe delve into the Chelsea squad to purchase a player which could be Thomas Tuchel's fourth sale by then of the transfer window already. That's in the Metro. I'm also dipping into football.london to see what they're saying about a pre-season lineup for the first game, who we could expect to see. That's exciting. Football, Chelsea, wicked. Get yourself comfortable, settle in, subscribe if you're new to the channel, only if you want to, but if you choose to, hit the bell notifications icon and you're welcome to drop a like to show your support to me. That would be lovely. Alright then, let's start on the first story in the Metro and see what Jose Mourinho's been looking at. Cool, so it is La Zouman's Kurt Zouma, an excellent footballer. Dominating, combative, likes to run through midfield sometimes, wins every single aerial duel in the world. Seemingly, Thomas Tuchel doesn't really fancy him that much, although he has turned to him at times. Remember, Kurt Zouma, I believe, played in the middle of a back three in our win against Atletico Madrid, and has featured a little bit in rotationally and off the bench, but ultimately, for a man of his age, he'd probably like some more minutes, especially considering he's won the Premier League, he's played a lot of Premier League football, etc. Now, this article references Mourinho's potential desire to bring him to Roma, his new club. Remember, Jose Mourinho really liked Kurt Zouma, and before he did his ACL, a sort of harrowing injury, he was partnering John Terry in the Premier League, so high hopes for him, Yes, he was out for a long time, but he's absolutely rebuilt himself, even if he's not under favour with the current Chelsea manager. Let's dip into the Metro and see what it's saying about the story. Chelsea are expected to offload Kurt Zouma this summer, with Jose Mourinho interested in bringing the defender to Roma, according to reports in France. Zouma featured regularly under Frank Lampard, but the France international struggled to secure a regular role under Thomas Tuchel, whose preferred back three consisted of Antonio Rudiger, Thiago Silva and Cesar Azpilicueta. The 26-year-old was also left on the bench for Chelsea's defeat to Leicester City in the FA Cup final last season, as well as in their victory over Manchester City in the Champions League final. Yes, of course, like I just previously stated, not favoured by Thomas Tuchel. Liked by Frank Lampard, he fought a lot to get him back into Chelsea after he wanted his permanent transfer to Everton, even though Lampard didn't use him all the time. He is a good player though. According to Telefoot, Chelsea are now open to selling Zouma this summer, and the French defender is not short of options in both the Premier League and abroad. It's claimed that Wolves have already registered their interest, but Zouma has turned down a move. Tottenham and Everton, who Zouma joined on the loan for the 18-19 season, are also keen on a deal. But Zouma also has the option of linking up with his former manager, as Mourinho is understood to be keen on bringing the French defender to Roma. Now the story is spicing up a little bit. Mourinho has already begun pre-season preparations with Roma, and has reportedly told 8 first-team players that they are not part of his plans for the new campaign. Ooh, 8! They must not be happy with him, just coming in and clearing out. That's the way to immediately unsettle a dressing room. Speaking after Chelsea's transfer ban in 2019, Mourinho made it clear how highly he rates Zouma by telling his former club that they didn't need to spend because they already had the France international in their squad. Quote, "Chelsea needs a centre-back? Kurt Zouma. You don't need to buy. You don't need to spend. Zouma," Mourinho said. He really loved Kurt Zouma. He's a champion of England, he's played for Chelsea, he's played for Stoke in the Premier League, he's played for Everton in the Premier League, played for France. He's your player, he's on loan, why are you going to buy better than him? You already have him. Yeah, I remember that interview. Jose Mourinho bloody loves Kurt Zouma. Great experiences with him at Chelsea, and like I said, when he was working away from football, not managing in football, he was waxing lyrical about the young French defender. Is he that young? Sort of mid-20s now. Look man, I love Kurt Zouma. Not only is he a very good defender, he's an amazing personality, the entire squad love him, he's a joy to have, he loves Chelsea Football Club, but if he has to be sold, it's one of those things. The priority at Chelsea is winning. That's what you want your football club to do. And we have a winner managing the club in Thomas Tuchel. He is a plan. If, Kurt Zouma's not in that plan, you have to sort of just accept it and go with the times and thank him, and hopefully Kurt Zouma can just have an amazing, great, positive career wherever he goes. I feel the same about Tomori. I watched Tomori's Instagram, or AC Milan's Instagram, and he's just doing an interview in Italian already, and he loves it. He's where he needs to be. You can be happy for players away from Chelsea if they even, once they've had that affiliation with Chelsea. It's possible. For me, there's only a few untouchables in the squad. I'd say, the likes of N'Golo Kante. Obviously, he's in his 30s, so it's a little bit different. But Mason Mount, so connected to the club, such a vital player for Chelsea Football Club. For me, he's an untouchable, and there's probably another couple in the squad as well. So Zouma could be the fourth sale if you think about Fikayo Tomori, Victor Moses, Olivier Giroud to Milan, looks pretty much done. And then it could be Kurt Zouma to Roma in Serie A for Jose Mourinho. So that's already doing a lot of business for Chelsea if they all come to pass. Chelsea can make loads of sales, buy one or two massive players or high-profile players, and we're in business. And Thomas Tuchel's plan could come into fruition. Speaking of Thomas Tuchel and planning, the next part of the video we're going to talk about a Football.London article speculating on an early lineup in pre-season, which is really exciting. So let's move on to that now and talk about who could feature early doors. Yes, exciting times. Players are back at Cobham for pre-season training under big Tommy Tuch. Yes, loads of players are still on holiday. Yes, 5 players are still getting ready to play in the Euros final with Italy and England, but some players are coming back, youngsters, some returning first teamers, and Thomas Tuchel's going to put some players together for a lineup in pre-season, and that's exciting. It's an option for him to try out new things, for new players to get their chance to shine. Obviously, Tammy Abraham's back, Callum Hudson-Odoi's back, 2 players that weren't really featured highly under Thomas Tuchel, yet they're quite high-profile Chelsea players. They'll be backing themselves to impress Tuchel early while there's not really anyone else around at Cobham. Do you know what I mean? It's an opportunity for them. So I'm going to read the Football.London article, take you through it, stop you on the way, and talk about the referenced players in this piece. The Blues will have an unfamiliar squad and a much changed one for their first friendly of pre-season, which is set to be in Ireland. Chelsea's players are slowly beginning to return to pre-season at Cobham after having a summer off. Those who haven't been away of their country, that is. Tino Anjorin, Callum Hudson-Odoi and Tammy Abraham were the first 3 players back through the Cobham doors to begin training on Friday, with Marcus Alonso joining them later in the day. They're all pretty high profile first team players. Even Tino Anjorin now, he's been knocking around for a little bit, he's highly rated. And obviously Marcus Alonso, Cho and Abraham, these are players that will all back themselves to impress Thomas Tuchel. Players had been coming to the training ground for COVID-19 testing as early as Monday, while Thomas Tuchel didn't return to Cobham until Thursday, as he began his own pre-season plans. Blues are set to jet off to Ireland for a training camp, but no date has been set for that, while 2 pre-season friendlies against Arsenal and Spurs as part of the Mind series has been arranged for early August. Yeah, obviously that's a long time away playing Arsenal and Spurs now, but there will be matches before with a very different looking lineup, which we're talking about now. More players will be filtering into the training ground over the coming days, but those who were away with their country over the past month will not be back until late July, early August, after their mandatory 3-week uninterrupted holiday. That's nice, and to be honest, the boys absolutely deserve it after the last season and a bit. Give them 3 weeks. Chelsea are expected to have at least 1 friendly while they're in Ireland, which is likely to be their first of the summer, but their starting 11 will be without many of their international stars, handing the opportunity for fringe players or others to get some minutes to impress Tuchel. How could they line up for that first game? Well, we've taken a very speculative, educated guess. Football.London doing a lol there. Right, let's see what they're talking about then. Goalkeepers. Edouard Mendy will have had a full summer rest under his belt, but is unlikely to play the first friendly. So, that will hand Kepa a chance to get some minutes. The Spanish stopper was called up to Spain's parallel squad after Sergio Busquets tested positive 8 days before Euro 2020, with Kepa and 5 others called in just in case any other Spanish players pull out. They didn't, and Kepa will have had a good rest, so he's likely to see some minutes. Willy Caballero has left the club, so it could mean Jamie Cumming or Carlo Ziegler could also make the trip. That's true, I wouldn't be surprised to see someone like Jamie Cumming coming in goal. But to be honest, Tuchel probably wants to look at Kepa a little bit again. I can imagine it's going to be Kepa in goal. Defence. Reece James and Cesar Azpilicueta won't be involved thanks to their Euro 2020 exploits, so it could mean an opportunity for Tino Livramento to play right back or Dujon Sterling. Don't forget the returning Davide Zappacosta either. Oh yeah, Zappacosta. I don't think it'll be Zappacosta. I think he'd actually be keen to look at Tino Livramento. Certainly loads of Chelsea fans would hope Thomas Tuchel would get a look at Tino Livramento, but we'll see what happens there. At centre half, there'll be no Azpilicueta, Antonio Rudiger, Andreas Christensen, Thiago Silva, Kurt Zouma or Antonio Rudiger. Ethan Ampadu may be the player that could get a start, and perhaps Malang Sarr too. Fresh off his loan spell at Porto, Mark Guehi could also be an option. Marcus Alonso should get some game time on the left, with Ben Chilwell and Emerson not being involved. Yeah, Alonso on the left is a pretty easy one. You could have a middle three of Ethan Ampadu in the middle, Malang Sarr left-footed on the left, and Mark Guehi on the right. That's a pretty strong, I don't know much about Malang Sarr, but that sounds like a pretty strong back three. Midfield. This will be an area that Tuchel can experiment with, as Ross Barkley, Ruben Loftus-Cheek, Timo Bakayoko should be available to the head coach for the first friendly. Youngsters Conor Gallagher, Lewis Bay, and Tino Anjorin will be hoping to be included on the training camp and get some match action as well. Yeah, Chelsea has a host of decent midfielders available for this pre-season camp, even while the elite ones are still away at Euro 2020. There's a lot of options there for Tuchel. Christian Pulisic finished his campaign with a trip to USA for the Nations League tournament, which finished before the Euros got underway, and it remains to be seen if he reports back earlier to join up. Callum Hudson-Odoi will be linking up with the camp as well, and he should play. Yeah, I think Callum Hudson-Odoi will probably be the star of early pre-season, to be honest. Tammy Abraham is a certainty to go after just playing 17 Premier League minutes under Tuchel since the last weekend of February. He'll be eager to impress. Tuchel is likely to stick with one central striker for the friendly, as there aren't many options for him, and if truth be told, most were away of their country for this summer. Armando Broja is expected to be given opportunities to impress this summer as well, so it could be 45 minutes split between him and Tammy Abraham. There are also rumours that Armando Broja is about to sign a new long-term deal with Chelsea Football Club. Of course, he spent last season away on loan at Vitesse in the Eredivisie, the same route that Mason Mount took. He even said he wants to emulate Mason Mount and getting into the first team. Vitesse, maybe another loan. Chelsea signs a new long-term deal. I think he's likely to go on another loan, but he could impress in pre-season. Who knows, maybe he'll shock all of us and Tuchel will consider him for the first team squad next season with our loan. Anyway, the article ends there. I want your thoughts, feelings and opinions on this story. Who do you think should feature early doors and pre-season? And let me know what you think about Kurt Zouma to Everton. To Roma. Jesus, I'm tired. Time to end the video, guys. Enjoy the football, and I'll see you later.
You ain't so tough with that bad boy tuck. I'ma get it how I'm living, I'ma walk the walk. Outline my lines, I rap through thought. Body bag the verse, outlined in chalk. In my life seen trouble, hustle on the double. Silence on the trigger like my pick got a muzzle. Yo chick like to guzzle, bad boy stay in trouble. I only love this paper, sorry I don't. I laugh me baby.